Hey, this is Joe Price. I've had a few people reach out recently asking for some ideas on how to do a family history activity with a youth group or activity days. So I just wanted to show you a couple things I think could work really well. These are different tools we've built in the Record Linking Lab. So let me just share my screen. So here we are on the Record Linking Lab website. The easiest way to get there is rll.byu.edu. And then once you get there, just click volunteer. And then these are some of the tools that we've set up. So I think one that can work really well for kids is actually our button. Okay, so like this 5-star hint button, or if you click want a specific project, these are some that we've set up. And so you can kind of look through and see if maybe there's one that's a good fit for the group you're working with. So, you can see there's some easy hints that might be great to start with, or 5 stars, also pretty easy. Numident can be pretty good. The TEH, these ones are a little harder, but they'll add new people to the tree. So if you want to build a youth activity around adding missing children to the tree, this can be really good. So these are ones we used for an activity we did in our stake that we had a lot of helpers. So basically we had a 1-to-1 ratio between helpers and kids. But let me just show you what these look like. So then if they click that button, it will ask them to sign into Family Search. So this is the moment where you'll need to sign into Family Search. And then this is just where we need to be a little careful. Like here, this could be a match, but I don't think there's enough information. So we would just skip that. We can pull up another example. So what we're looking for is a case where we're pretty sure that it's a match. This one also is probably a match, but again, not a lot to go on. Let me try one more right here. Okay, so this one's actually looking a lot better. And this is where the helper can be good at helping them kind of look at all the clues. So notice we have 5 different people. Their names are lining up. All the birth years are lining up really well. And then notice this kid was born in Connellsville, Fayette, Pennsylvania, and that's where they're living just 9 years later. So this one looks great. And notice that with this hint, the really cool thing is that, 3 of the kids are on the tree, because you can explain that everyone on the right is on the tree, everyone on the left is in the record, but notice that we missed 3 kids. So this is when we build an activity around finding missing children, this is really what we're talking about. So this would have been worth it to have, have to have skipped a couple to get to something like this, because these are so valuable. And then at that point, they will do all the attaching. I use a little tool called Goldie May that does the clicking for me. It doesn't change the fact that I still have to make the decision, but you can see then it's Mary just got added to the tree, and now Catherine's going to get added to the tree, and then John's going to get attached, and then Agnes will get added to the tree. So notice that just with this one hint, we were able to add 3 new people to the tree and attach 8 sources to the tree. So that's pretty cool. And one nice thing is you can show the kids the impact they're having. Here on Family Tree, they can go to My Contributions, and they can actually see how many sources they've attached and how many new people they've added. So that's one of the tools. It's really simple because it's just a button. And so that might be a great way to introduce them to source linking. Another way they can do it is if they want to do maybe their own name. This is our map app. So I could type in my own name, Price. And then if I hit search, and these are all hints for people I'm related to. Green, easy, blue, harder. So if they were to click on one of these greens, again, it would pull them into SourceLinker. And again, a lot of the practice is just helping them feel comfortable about, deciding if it's a match or not, looking at all the clues. But you can see here, the names line up really well. And then we have Bent County, 1930. We have Bent County here, 1920. They're also living there in 1935. So this one is definitely a good match. And notice here, we just picked up another missing child. That was kind of a nice little bonus for, here I was working on the prices, and I got to add a brand new person to the tree. So that's pretty cool. And once this family finishes attaching, I'll just show you something they can do that's kind of neat, especially if they have a unique name. It might turn out that they're related to this person. So then if I click on Helen and go to her page, she's a brand new person I've added to the tree. I could then hit view my relationship, and I did not find a relationship. But it's possible that when I do that, maybe you would find a connection. And then notice here's another hint I could do if I wanted to do that. Okay, so that's the map app. So far I've shown you the button, the map app. Let me just show you 2 others. So here's reverse indexing. Now reverse indexing is going to be much, much better really soon, because we're about to load a lot more content. For now, I think probably the best one for kids or youth would be newspaper. So if you come here to newspaper, you can see here's the word sightseeing. We have to check to see if that's a match. Ideally, it'll give you a whole screen of things. So here it's the word for, and you have to decide if any of these don't belong. Now, the nice thing, if something doesn't belong, you just click on it. In this case, it looks pretty good. So I just hit submit. Notice it's going to now load another batch for me. And then I again decide, I look across this. This one I'm not quite sure. Do you see how it kind of got cut off right there? So I could do that. This one also got cut off. Ooh, man, that's so close. So then we can do that. You can see, because I think I was worried maybe it could be the word found or something. These all look good. The other thing they can do is if they want to do their own name. Now, I think I've used up my name, but let's just see if maybe Joseph. Yeah, so Joseph's not in there, but here's Shal. So we'll soon have a lot more content, so people will be able to look up their name. And then if they want to look up their stats, you can see we already did 37 just now. So it's kind of cool that they can have a big impact. And what this is doing is it's helping clean up things that were indexed by a computer, and that creates training data and allows us to fix the index so that we can make records more searchable. And the last one I want to show you is not on here, but I actually think it's probably the best for youth to do. So let me just type in the URL. It's powerlinkerlite.rll.byu.edu. And you go there. Now, just one warning, it does take a moment to load. And the reason it takes a moment to load is it's getting some records ready. So this looks a lot like SourceLinker, but this is a version we built. And on the right is information from the family tree. On the left is information in a record. And just like with SourceLinker, we have to decide if it's a match. We light up things in green that we think are the same. So we think that will help kids start to notice some of the clues they want to focus in on. So this is great. You can see the name's the same, birth date's the same, death date's the same. So we just hit attach all and notice it immediately grabs another one. So here again, it's lighting stuff up in green. That's really helpful. Here, Candida, you can see they're basically the same, just not exactly the same. And then at any point, if we see something that's not a match, like here, I've got Juliana Concepcion, Julia Reyes, then I hit not a match. We'll be replacing that soon with the word skip. Basically, if the three people all match, you hit attach all. If any one of them doesn't match, you hit not a match. But this is a really great way for them to get practice looking at the clues and moving through these different comparisons. Okay. And then the really nice thing about this is each of these hints will be seen by multiple people. And if they all agree that it's a match, then we'll make that edit to the family tree. Okay, so just to recap, we have PowerLinker Lite, which you'll have the URL for, and then all of the others you can find here on our page. And then when you're working with youth that maybe want to continue to have a great experience with family history, always encourage them to sign up for Find It at 5 a day, basically putting your name and an email address, and then every weekday it will send you 5 hints that you can work on. So that's a way that you could maybe influence some youth during an activity and then allow them to continue to have that great experience once the activity's over. Well, I hope this video was helpful. Glad to share some of these tools with you. And feel free to share any feedback you have as you try these out with your youth or activity days or other groups. Though I think the thing I want to always emphasize is really these are designed to be a way for kids to learn how to do family history. And so make sure that it's a really joyful teaching experience and that there's plenty of ways for them to ask questions if they say, hey, I'm not sure if this is a match. Make sure it's set up in such a way that they'll have a really great experience, because our hope is always that with each of these activities there'll be a couple kids who decide to do family history for the rest of their life. And if we can create that and enough activities, we'll have people that have a huge impact on the family tree.